Welcome to British Columbia's Cariboo region. Tucked in equal distance between the cities of Williams Lake and Quesnel, British Columbia, Tyee Lake Resort offers guided fishing to some of the best lakes and rivers the Cariboo has to offer, to go along with the spectacular British Columbia scenery.
Hey, Doug,
Yes,
what the hell are we doing out here?
having fun. That's what we're here for, isn't it? Having fun, a good time, give a few fish sore lips. What the heck?
Okay. Talk a little bit about this sedge. Like, you know, what's so hot about the sedge? And
Well, the sedge
just tell
is
me a
there.
little bit of life cycle about.
Well, you
what's
got the
happening here
larva
with this lake.
stage of the caddisfly, then it emerges as a pupa, and it comes up as a caddisfly up to the, once it gets to the surface from the pupa. But out at this lake, we get big traveler sedges. A lot of lakes have cinnamon sedges, but this one gets the big travelers, which are what I call a real meal deal, because they're like a leech in the deep water. There's a lot of food value for the amount of work, and the fish come up to get them pretty readily when they're hatching heavy. And you can entice them to come up when they're not that heavy because they're one of their favorite food sources.
Huh. Okay.
Good fly to fish this time of the year up here in the high country.
Yeah, I saw one on the water. They stay. They call them a traveling because they stay on the water for a while before they take off, or?
Yeah, they skitter off across the water and then they take off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're wanting to do, is imitate that skitter on the water.
Yeah, you got to beetle your fly back towards you.
Which is about 5 little
4 or
pulls.
5 inch pulls, yeah.
And then
Stop and leave it sit
leave
for
it sit for a while.
and then do it again.
And then do it again. Recast.
Yeah, and do it all over.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Whoa! Starting to get a little upset. Look at him cruising. Look at him make that wake up there. Nice little fish. Just see, these fish know that it's a 3-weight, so they send all the little fish in. Oh, okay. You don't like being called small. He says, how dare you?
I like to see you hook into a
Be like that.
7-pound fish with that little stick. That would be
Whoa, and he
worth
explodes again.
pain to watch.
Huh?
I say that would be worth paying to watch.
Yeah, look at this little 3-weight. Look at it just giving that fish all it's worth. All these other guys, they got like halibut rods out here. Oh, that a boy. Take another nice little run. Am I having fun? Huh? All this fun brought to you by Tyee Lodge Resort and Cariboo Fly and Tackle out of Quesnel. Pretty nice fishing. Sitting here in a still water lake. And look at this for a bright fish. Look at this. Oh, he says, you're not looking at anything.
Not yet.
Yeah. Taken on a dry fly. Maybe, Doug, you can tell me, just override me on this fly, okay? Tell me a little bit about it, what it's imitating and all that stuff again.
Well, it's a dry caddisfly.
Dry caddisfly,
Yeah.
right? Sat there, and you know, you see
Tied
their
on a
little,
tube.
you see their little noses come up and go boom.
Yeah, they come up lots of times and they'll drown the bug.
Yeah.
Then they'll turn around and pick it up. That's why you have to wait to feel the weight of the fish before you set the hook.
Beautiful clear water. We're in about 7 feet of water, 8 feet of water. I can look at the bottom. These fish are shiny. They're feeders.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Huh?
And I said, you haven't seen nothing yet. We get into
No.
some big ones. And
Well, you know, being the old city slicker that I am, you know.
It's neat when they want to turn the boat around. Oh, and it's a beautiful release. That's exactly what I wanted. Hold on for a minute. I'll come over and get some still shots, okay?
That fish had been playing there for 10 minutes. I figured he needed a sore lip. Big.
Is that a big fish?
Pretty good, about 3-4 pounds.
Do you want to keep it in the net so I can come over and get some still shots?
Yeah, I will.
Oh, look at the back on him. Big silver fish. Oh, look at him. Whoa! Am I happy? Boy, that'll tell you, that was, I had a half hitch around this metal piece right here where that fish hit. That's amazing. I got him hooked. Stand back. I got a fish coming underneath your motor there.
Yeah.
Just joking. Oh, oh. He's a real furry fish. Got to thank you, Doug, for bringing me out.
Oh, you're more than welcome. It's pretty hard to beat fly fishing still water in the Cariboo.
Oh, I know. On a dry fly, too. I mean, it was amazing with this fish. It was just an amazing feat.
Oh, he definitely wanted to eat that fly.
I want to get one on, though, Doug, like you had on there.
Yeah, I'd like to see that. Only about twice that size. That
Yeah.
would be really interesting. And there's Walter sleeps out here.
Look at this guy right here, eh? The one thing about the fish out here, when they see the boat, they sure like to take off.
They don't like it. They figure they're going to die, so wouldn't you fight like hell?
Yeah, I would too, yeah. This is the good old boys up here in the Cariboo, eh? All the good old boys. And they don't sit in the bar. What they do is they come out here onto a lake.
And go fishing.
And they go fishing. And they carry on their conversations out here.
We're visiting.
Visiting.
Yeah.
It's a lovely way to visit.
You got her.
good to have a little landing net when you come out fishing like this. I'm going to try and get this fly out of him here. Look at that there, eh? That's a nice fish, and away he goes. Oh. The most neatest thing I've ever seen, folks. His back just came up like a seal. I got a big one on here. He hasn't even started to run yet.
That 3-weight is going to be undergunned.
Here we go. You're going to have to go with me. Here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. He's going to really start screaming now. He's just realized he's hooked. Here he goes. Come on, everybody. This fish don't even know he's hooked yet. He just realized it there. This is a big fish. You better pull your anchor there. Look at his back. Look at his tail coming out there. Holy God. This is the biggest trout I've ever had on. This fish is over 5 pounds easily. This is bigger than any fish I've seen today. This is a big fish. Oh, come on, baby. Come on. There he goes. Look at him. Oh. I'll never forget that back coming out of the water. That was incredible. That back when it came out of the water, watch him. Look at him here. Look at this fish. You'll see him. You'll see his shadow in the water here in a second. Just look at him here. He's just swimming. Look at this. Look at that for a fish. Whoa, whoa, there he goes. There he goes. There he goes. Nice and smooth. Try and face the fish. Look at this here. He's gonna show himself in a minute. Oh yeah, lovely, lovely fish. Oh my goodness. He's hiding underneath the boat now. He's looking for some shade right underneath my boat. He's not even started to get tired yet, that's the thing. Look at all that fly line laying on my lap here. How do you play something like this? Gotta get my, don't want anything in the water to hamper this fish. I'm just on a free drift with him right now. I'm going to try and bring him up a little bit so you can see him. Look at him here. Look at this. Look at this big buck. Yeah, look at that for a big fish. Do I dare? On a 3-weight rod. Is he ready yet? Is he ready yet? Is he ready? Oh! On a 3-weight!
As long as the net is deep.
Look at this! Look at this!
It's more like 6.5, 7.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Come on in, folks. You got to see this fish here. We'll keep him in the water there. What I want to do is get a picture of him. There is a lovely fish right there. There you go. Wow! What a beautiful fish. You should have seen that take, folks. I'm sitting there. I came over to this side because the wind was starting to blow. Cast that sedge out there, was just sitting there very nice, and all of a sudden I saw that big back. And that big back came cruising out of the water, slowly gulped the fly, came up with that 3-weight. Now the secret is that fish didn't know he was hooked. And he was just swimming around me with that little 3-weight and didn't know he was hooked. But when he did, what a great run he took. Lifted my anchor, I had to chase him. Luckily, I got the fish into the boat and got some nice pictures. And you know something? That's a Cariboo rainbow.
Okay, I'm going to tie a Mikulak sedge, it's not quite as large as the original pattern, but it's one that we like to use in the lakes and the Cariboo here. Start off with tying on green 6/0 tying thread. Try to make good base so all the elk hair will hang on to it properly. Then the first thing is one small clump of light elk hair. You pull all the underfur out. They make brushes and combs. I use my fingers, but I know lots of people take an old toothbrush. It works excellent for pulling the underfur out of deer and elk hair. And you stack it in your hair stacker. You leave the tail about the length of the hook point sticking out the back. You tie it on top of the hook. Leave hanging out approximately 1/4 of the length of the hook shank between your thumb and your forefinger, so it goes pull straight down, so it goes straight on top of the hook shank. Tie it down good and tight. Then you clip off the excess of elk hair. And tie it down good and tight so it doesn't move. You take a small piece of olive or light green dubbing. A lot of people use a dubbing loop, I don't. And then you just dub a little bit onto the, cover your thread, bring it ahead a little bit. Then you cut another clump of elk hair, approximately the same size, and stack that. And you lay this on top of the other piece of elk hair just so it's slightly shorter than the tail. And again, between the thumb and the index finger, pull straight down and the elk hair goes right on top of the hook shank. Tie it down good and tight so it doesn't spin. And again, you cut off the excess elk hair. And you put another piece of dubbing in. And one last piece of elk, which you also make the last piece of the wing, but you leave sticking out the front and trim it to represent the head of the caddisfly. Again, right in front of the last clump of elk hair, pinch it between the thumb and the index finger and pull straight down so it stays on the top of the hook shank. This one here, I like to lift up and tie underneath as well, between the elk hair and the hook shank, so that it goes good and tight, because we're going to leave it for the head when we're done putting the hackle on. Then you take a piece of furnace or brown hackle feather, tie it in right in front of the last clump of elk hair that we tied in for the last part of the wing. And then wrap the furnace hackle 3-4 wraps and tie it off with your tying thread. And clip the furnace hackle off. Give it a couple more wraps of thread. Pull the elk back, wrap in front of the elk hair, and then whip finish it. Clip off your thread. Then pull the elk hair ahead, straight out in front of the eye of the hook, and cut it off parallel to the hook shank to form the head of the caddisfly. Then you clip off the hackle that's under the hook. And there's your completed Mikulak sedge caddis dry.